Hi, Kamran here from MotorServ-UK. Welcome to our interview today, where I'm speaking to Abigayle from She Talks Cars. Abigayle is a massive TikTok and Facebook star. Her posts get millions of views and she's got an absolute staggering following on all social media platforms.
Look, people ask me what the future is. All I know is I'll be doing this. All I know is things are moving quick. That's convenient for me because time change, yeah, I can't adjust. Yo, it's who you are, not who you was. Oh my, yeah.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, good to see you. I'm good. Better down here, obviously.
Excellent. Just grab a seat.
Thank you.
What is my purpose? Yeah, that is a question that I have been asking myself and it hurts.
So firstly, thank you very much for coming down today.
Thanks for having me.
And I hope the drive down was okay and not too bad on the Friday.
It was all right, actually. The drive back though, who knows?
Hopefully it'll be nice and quiet by now.
Yes.
So first off, I know that you get the privilege of driving a lot of vehicles and you get a lot of cars provided for you.
Yeah.
So what car are you driving today? What's your mode of transport?
So today it's not an EV, it's petrol. It's a John Cooper Works Mini Cooper convertible with a soft top. So it's quite noisy coming down on the motorway, but it's going to be good weather, so I'm excited to get the roof down at some point. But yeah, it's a great car. I got it yesterday.
What a weekend to have it as well.
I know, we're going to have a heat wave as well next week.
The hottest on record apparently, so it's the right
perfect timing.
How long have you got it for?
I've got it for a week. Mini have kindly sent me that, so
excellent.
Looking forward to getting the roof off in the heat wave.
Fantastic. So today you mentioned you've come in a petrol car.
Yes, I have.
But I've seen a lot of your videos and a lot of your posts recently where you've been talking about obviously different fuel, electricity, hydrogen cars. So what have you got to say about them? What's your favourite right now?
It's really difficult to pick a favourite because there's so much good stuff going on at the minute, especially like new stuff like for hydrogen, for example. So I've only ever driven one hydrogen car, which is the Toyota Mirai, which James May from previous Top Gear now Grand Tour has got.
Yeah.
And they're quite difficult to get hold of. So it was like having a unicorn car, and there's only less than 20 hydrogen pumps around the UK. So that was really interesting. That was a lot of fun. One of the smoothest cars I've ever driven. Electric cars are very interesting because there's that instant torque, which is a lot of fun to drive. So I really like the Polestar 2, especially with the performance pack. I had that for a week. I really like the Porsche Taycan. I really enjoyed the Toyota Mirai just from the perspective that it's just something so new and different.
Yeah.
Honestly, such a smooth drive, but it's like a whale, it's huge. But yeah, I really like the way that the motoring industry is going because there's new people coming out, there's new technology coming out. It's a very exciting time to talk about cars.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So what's your actual background? How did you get into cars?
Since I was a kid, I really loved cars. I've got ADHD, so anyone who knows anything about ADHD or autism, anything like that, we have special interests.
Yeah.
So cars is one of mine. I could tell you any car on the road as a kid. I could look at any car and know what it was, which is quite unusual for a little girl. And my uncle used to sell luxury cars, sports cars. And my dad used to like cars, and my uncles, and I'm very close to that side of the family. So it came from there. And then 10 years ago, I used to work for customer services for Volkswagen Group, so VW and then Audi. So my job was to know about cars in the respect of explain to a customer what's going on, liaise between a dealership and also the customer and solve problems, sometimes file reports to the factory, disk reports, investigate issues that have just come out for the first time. And in 3 years, I learned a hell of a lot about cars because I had 50 customers a time to dealing with their different issues, and having that team of master technicians, which we all had access to where I worked, was invaluable because they had got like 25 plus years of knowledge, and you can just go and ask them questions, which is not something that everybody gets to do. So that's where the knowledge came from, but the passion for cars has always been there since I was a kid.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I feel quite lucky to have done that.
So obviously you mentioned you used to work in the car companies. So are you completely freelance now, or are you kind of out on your own? Yeah,
I left there 7 years ago, something along those lines.
Okay.
I've never worked in a car dealership.
So it's always kind of the background of dealerships. You've always been in the motor industry.
Yeah. But then I moved out. I decided I wanted to do something different, and I went into waste, which is completely different. But then you've still got logistics. It's still quite a male-dominated industry, and I seem to be attracted to those. So.
No, fantastic. Because I know that because I've obviously followed your videos. You know, it's where I first got introduced to yourself, and yeah, your knowledge on vehicles and the kind of questions that you get asked, you know, it's immense. So yeah,
so many questions.
Really
I could go on a live and everyone's like, what should I do with this? What should I do about that? What do you think to this? So no, I love it, luckily.
Yeah, I've seen some of them and they are quite, they're comprehensive. You can say
they're quite
that.
comprehensive.
So yeah, no, really good, fantastic.
Thank you.
So with the, I saw you on TikTok and I've seen your stuff on LinkedIn, I've seen your stuff on Facebook, but have you always done that, or is this something of a lot of people got into this kind of stuff in lockdown? So is it something you've always done?
No, it's weird how it started, you know, Cam. So Whistle Stop Tour, I had and still have for the next few months a Range Rover Evoque, and I was one of the first people to have the new shape, and I kept getting loads of problems with it. JLR, sorry about this, but it's just, this is the truth. I had many problems with it, and it was actually a gift and a curse, because if it wasn't for this Evoque, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. So in lockdown, my business, which is outside of the automotive industry, it had to shut because of the lockdown rules. I had all these problems with my Evoque, which was a gift, a literal gift in disguise. And I kept getting all these amazing courtesy cars. I mean, I had them delivered on a low loader, like a brand new Discovery with TVs in the headrests, you know? Wow. Then the new Defender, had a few of them, Disco Sports, Velar. Like my first ever review was a Range Rover Velar, a brand new one, because that was my courtesy car. I kept getting all these amazing vehicles and I thought, do you know what? I should review these. It was like an inner nudge. You know, sometimes you get those intuitions. I'm sure you do as a business person. You get like these little ideas that come out of nowhere when you're just doing something random. And that's how it came to me. And my friend's 11-year-old son, Freddie, came and filmed them for me and I paid him to do it. And it just really went nuts. I thought, do you know what? I could do this, you know. It helps people make a decision. They can't go out at the time to test drive a car because lockdown, everything was shut. So I started to do that and then it just naturally grew. It was very organic. I started it as a hobby because I didn't want to monetize it. I wanted to just do something fun. But then lo and behold, it's taken over my business that I had, and this is like my main thing now, which is crazy. So yeah, lockdown, but like the end of lockdown, and I never foresaw that this would happen. Not that I'm complaining, like I love it, but yeah, it was crazy.
So there's no going back now?
No, hell no, absolutely not.
Yeah, this is the new wave and you can
This
ride
is me. I've been literally hardcore into it for, it's weird that we're having this interview now. It's a year this month that I started taking TikTok seriously, because I didn't even like it.
Really?
And it's literally changed my life, yeah, it's been mental.
So that is mental. It's been like literally a year.
Yeah, but I feel like that's my life, mental, just like me.
That's it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So you mentioned it just now, but so your first video was recorded by, sorry, you said your nephew, was it?
No. I mean, I wish. It would have been free probably then, but it was my friend who is also into cars, his son, and he's into cars, but he's not your typical 11-year-old. Yeah. He's like a genius. Like, Freddie, if you're listening, I'm bigging you up, like you are a genius. But he came, filmed it all in his gimbal. It was so much fun. We had a really wicked time. But yeah, 11-year-old filmed my first video.
Fantastic.
In fact, he's filmed quite a few. He's very good.
Yeah, so should get his details for
Props
the
to you, Freddie. Yeah, for sure. He can travel.
Brilliant. But yeah, that was the question really, because your videos, you know, that I've seen on TikTok, like with the cars, with the stuff, they're very professionally done.
Yeah.
Do you do them yourself, or have you got an editor, or how does it work?
It's changed a lot. Obviously, as I've got busier, there's a lot of things you can't do yourself. So I will film my TikToks, Instagram Reels, like short form stuff on my phone myself. So I've got an iPhone 12 Pro. I've just actually ordered, well, it's just come actually, my first, you know, like a 360 camera. Oh, wow, yeah. So that's gonna come, like just little things. I've made little investments to make my content better, but the things I film myself, I film on my phone, and I've got some equipment, for example, the road system, like what we're using today. And I will edit them myself, because that's something I really enjoy. The editing is what can really change how a piece comes across. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. Well, you know yourself, don't you? Because you do a lot of media stuff here, but the editing can make or break a video. And I really like the editing, because I've got my own little style. And I'm sure you've seen it. It's like a crazy, haphazard kind of style, but I really like it.
Yeah.
And my YouTube videos are now filmed by a videographer called Michael from MotorServ-TV, and he's got a drone and he's got 2 cameras, so they look really professional.
Yeah.
But my stuff's like, meh, crazy, which is my personality. But yes, I film and edit my own stuff if it's short form, and long form stuff is filmed and edited by a professional.
Fantastic. Because I have noticed that, because I've seen all your different styles, and like some of your car ones, they are like TV professional. So,
are you listening?
Yeah, really good.
TV.
So, yeah.
Can you just say that a bit louder for Michael? Told you, Michael.
So far, in your journey, what's been your favourite visit or favourite event that you've been to? Obviously, apart from
today, Cam. It's really hard to choose one. I had a week. It was actually the week that I got ill. But it was one of the best weeks ever. It was like just full of bucket list stuff. It was 2 weeks ago, Goodwood. If you're watching this now, it probably wasn't 2 weeks ago, but let's say the week preceding Goodwood, leading up to Goodwood. So I went to an amazing trip with Cupra for their first drive of their e-Boost, which is like their electric hot hatch version of the Cupra Born.
Yeah.
And that was at the Wilderness Reserve in Suffolk, which is a beautiful place. Everybody there drives Morris Minors. Like that's like their work car, which is mental but really cool. Awesome. And it's this really beautiful place that we went like paddle boarding and stuff. We drove the cars, that was fantastic. Then, because it doesn't stop there, the next day I was at Goodwood with Bentley. It was my first time. I've wanted to go for 7 years. I've never been able to go. So I went with Bentley, full hospitality, it was mental. The guys were absolutely lovely. I got to go up the hill climb in a Bentley GT Continental Mulliner with the director of Mulliner up the hill climb, which was just bucket list stuff. You know, you've got to pinch yourself. And they're all very lovely. And then the next day I was at Goodwood again with Polestar, and it was just phenomenal going up the hill climb then with their it's their head chassis engineer, who's called Joachim Ridholm, who was also the chassis engineer, chief chassis engineer for Saab. If you remember Saab.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I was sat with like car royalty, and he's taking me up the hill climbs. He's also, in his spare time, a professional driver. So that was fantastic. And then after that, because it didn't stop there, this is the same week, Cam, I then went to Monaco with Skoda, driving the Skoda Fabia Monte Carlo, like the first drive. And I'm the only woman there, apart from the ones that work for Skoda. So that was amazing. It was just a week of dreams, and then I got a problem in my ear, but it was worth it. It was brilliant. So in a nutshell, all of that was just phenomenal, and I just feel like, wow, is this really happening to me?
So you think it's just getting better and better, and more stuff's happening for you? Yeah,
it's like a snowball effect. Although we're in summer now, but it's like a snowball effect, and all this stuff's going on. I'm like, yep, I'll do this, I'll do that, and it just, if it comes, you should take the opportunity, because they don't always come round again. And you're so blessed to be in that position, and I appreciate that I'm in a privileged position to do this stuff. No,
definitely. So at Goodwood, on the 2 hill climbs you did, obviously the Polestar and the Bentley, what was your favourite car? If there is one.
It's hard to say.
It's so different.
Do you mean like out of the 2 of the hill climb?
Yeah. Which did it the fastest?
I don't know, actually. That's a really good point. I don't know. It's weird because 2 very different experiences, and for me it wasn't just about the car. All right, I'm in the car, but who I was with is very interesting. Paul, who's the director of Mulliner, is such an interesting guy. I was just literally, because you're sat in the car for a long time, it's not like you just up the hill climb and that's it. Even though it's like a 50-second thing, you're sat in the car waiting maybe half an hour, sometimes longer. So those conversations that I had were like priceless. I learned so many things. I'm asking many questions. I'm very curious. So that was amazing from that perspective. The GT Continental is obviously a very luxurious car. He's a very good driver. It was very fast. It was fun. But then on the other side of things, the Polestar felt a little bit more involved, because that's the way the car's set up. So he's engineered this car. It was a specific special edition, so it's called a 270 BST, which is an unlimited run of. It's got Öhlins shock absorbers that have been set up in a different way. He's worked directly with Öhlins to set it up in a very sporty way, and it was very involved. And obviously you've got the instant torque, whereas a Bentley is more about a luxury cruiser. Although you've got the access to that raw aggression, that raw power, you're never going to feel it in the same way, because there's a bit of a disconnect between the drive and the road. Like, it's meant to feel luxurious, whereas the Polestar felt well involved. It was just like, but obviously silent, which is really weird, you know what I mean? Whereas the Bentley sounds wicked.
Yeah, you just hear the tyre noise.
So
ripping through the hay.
Two very different experiences, but I can't say that one's over the other. I'm not just saying that as like a PR thing. I got so much from both experiences, and it was more than just the car, it was the people I was sat with, because they had so many interesting stories to tell. So yeah, hard to say which one. Two very different experiences, but two brilliant experiences.
No, awesome. And
that's the long version.
No, brilliant. But hopefully you get more and more experiences, and hopefully this continues.
I mean, it was just a dream come true, so I've always wanted to go. Have you been to Goodwood?
I'm the same. I've never been.
You need to go.
I've been to all the other stuff. I've been to all the motor shows, all the track days and stuff, but I always miss Goodwood. It's always
Goodwood
a time.
is so special.
I know, and I missed it just now again.
Yeah,
so.
no, next year.
Yeah, next year.
I'll be like, Cam, are you going? I'll see you there.
That's it,
You'll
exactly.
be like, yeah, I'm coming. I'll see you there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No, that'd be great. So, I have to ask you this, because part of your on-screen charm are your outfits. You get a lot of comments, you get a lot of following regarding your outfits, and usually they colour code with the car that you're going to see.
Yes.
So
yeah, see what I did there?
Yeah,
and see what you did, slightly. Same colour palette.
I'm trying to,
for sure.
Yeah, trying to you just copy the trend, really.
Yeah.
But is that all set up? Who does your outfits?
Or do you think it's just coincidence?
Or is it
like,
coincidence?
How good would that be if it was? Like, no, it's not a coincidence. Somebody that I met through working with them, and they've become a friend, is Lee Collins. Hope you don't mind me saying this, Lee. But he suggested it to me. Suggested doing it, and he's a very, very clever businessman. He used to have a marketing company. He's very switched on, much like yourself, and he kind of said it. Yeah, a little compliment there. You won't be getting another, but yeah, little. He kind of mentioned it to me because I was talking to him about different things, and he said it, and I didn't do it for a while, and then I did. Because it's quite difficult, to match what you're wearing to the car. But I thought, I'm going to give it a go. I've seen this, and that'll go. Especially if you get like an interesting car colour. So I think I first did it with the Vauxhall Mockery, which is like this beautiful. You want to call it a mamba green. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like this lime green. It's very greenish. It's lovely. And I just matched with that, and people liked it and picked up on it. I thought, do you know what? I'm going to do that again. And then the more that I did it, the more that people kind of looked for it. And then, because people have an expectation, I want to deliver. Yeah. So it's very difficult to do, but I do enjoy doing it. It's a bit of a challenge with every car. Is it a decent colour? Like, do I have anything that will match? But yeah, I am spending a bit more money than I'd like to on wardrobe, trying to match everything. So yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Because I guess you're appealing to a wider market, because you've got the car market. People are interested in cars, but people are interested in fashion.
Yeah. Some people just follow me because of fashion or my crazy hair or something along those lines, which is absolutely fine, by the way. Each their own. But
that's it.
Yeah, but
All
I love
followers
clothes.
are good followers.
Yeah. Yeah, I love clothes. I used to be a fashion designer, so clothes is always something that's been very important to me. Like, it's how I express myself. My car and my clothes is self-expression. So
there you go. So you've got a motoring background and a fashion background. So that's
I've got a few different backgrounds.
It's all coming together.
It's all coming together now in this big mishmash.
Yeah, which is it works very well. It's working on screen, it's working through social media. So very well done.
Thanks.
So you mentioned it before. So obviously when you went to Goodwood, and when you went to Monaco, when you go around all these visits, all these places, and even in our workplace today, when you came for the visit, it's a male orientated and dominated, industry, workplaces, dealerships, wherever you go, shows. There are kind of men everywhere. So when you go to these things, how do you feel? Does it affect you? Does it make any difference? How does it make you feel?
I think that I can understand that it does make people feel intimidated. It depends on your character. At the end of the day, there's men and there's women that live in the world. What can you do about it? Yeah. And I think that it is a strength at the minute to be a woman in automotive, but it hasn't always been, because that's what people want and that's what people are looking for at the minute. They want diverse people, they want females. And this is every industry, it's not just automotive, but I feel empowered. I've never been treated badly by the people that I work with because I'm a woman. I think that they know what they'd let themselves in for if they did. Like, I'm very outspoken, I'm definitely not going to be bullied, but I feel welcomed, I feel looked after, and I feel like it gives me an edge being a woman. Because women are actually a lot of the time decision makers. Might be the man that signs the paperwork, but who made the decision? He's going to ask his wife which car he's going to get, or, you know, yeah, to me it's a massive strength being a woman in these industries, but it's just about your attitude and your mindset towards it. If you go in as a woman or a man and you're like, oh, you know, I don't like women and women have got a complex, oh, I'm in a male-dominated industry, you're going to naturally attract that. It's about your mindset, and I think that that's really important.
No, fantastic.
Yeah.
And we see it, we see exactly what you're saying. So when people are coming buying the cars, they are, you know, it's a mutual decision.
Yeah.
They have to kind of ask permission almost in some instances.
From a woman. Hello?
And it's got to be the right colour, it's got to be the right match.
Yeah, it's got to fit all my stuff in it. Can I get my shopping in there? If I go and collect stuff off Facebook Marketplace, can I get that in there? Can my kids get in there and the buggy that I've got, you know?
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, but I think things are changing, you know, slowly but surely. But I love it. I love being the underdog. I think that that's a really good position to be in. And there's been many situations when I've gone to events where I'm the only woman. I love that. Because at least if I'm there, or if another woman's there, that paves the way for other women then to come through. So to me, that's a good sign.
So you're representing.
Yeah, I represent, of course, of course. And I don't just want to represent females. I want to represent, because I'm Muslim, that's really important to me to represent the Muslim community. And it's really important to me I'm mixed race, I'm half Caribbean, really important to me to represent other people that are of ethnic minority backgrounds, because even though I don't look it, I am. And, you know, I really want to represent that. So yes, I'm female, but I'm also these other things, and I want to pave the way for other people, if they're from ethnic minority backgrounds, if they're Muslim or any other religion that's, you know, not as widespread, let's say, as Christianity in this country, then I want them to feel like she's doing it, I can do it.
No, fantastic. And that's what, it did, because when I was doing my research around prior to this interview, I only picked it up last week, that your background, and I've seen, and I like the way you mix your videos, so it's not just cars. You do talk cars, but
a lot.
Then I saw your video on your trip to Saudi, to Umrah, and I thought that was fantastic, because you're opening, because you're helping the people who don't know, and almost the ignorant even, to understand and to know why we do it, or what the teachings and beliefs are.
No, sure.
No, it's brilliant, and it's bringing that to a different market, because obviously people that are following you for your fashion, people following you for your cars.
For sure, and it's about showing that what you think somebody is like, or should look like, or act like, isn't what you think. It's just, I think I'm a walking advertisement for Don't Judge a Book. People can't tell what I am by looking at me. I'm all these things. So I feel like God, I know this sounds mad, I don't have a God complex, but I really feel like part of my mission in life, outside of cars, but in general, is to show people don't judge a book. Because I am literally a walking personification of that, and I think it's quite rare. So it's very important to me to, put that forward in the content that I make. And, when I go to these events, to represent those groups, because that's really what my why is.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Really, really good. I really applaud that, it's fantastic. So, from all this, from everything that you've been doing, I know because from today when you walked in, because obviously some people in the business have known that you're coming today, others haven't, because obviously it's a busy working day today.
Of course.
So when I went back in the other room, I was asked, is that the lady from TikTok? So people recognising you. And I saw that one of our customers' sons recognised you earlier. So are you getting that a lot nowadays? Are people kind of spotting you on the street, spotting you in places? Yeah.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it kind of comes with the, it just comes with the territory. Obviously, you put yourself out there and people do become familiar with your face. A lot of people are on TikTok or other channels, so that is part of kind of the package, really. But yeah, it does happen a lot. I've had it in the airport, I've had it when I'm out eating, I have it in the supermarket a lot. Or if they don't say it to me then and there, I will get an email or a message saying, was that you earlier? Thought it was you, thought I recognised that face.
Or they just stare at you from a distance.
But anyone I've always, everyone's always been lovely. I've never had like anything negative to my face anyway. But I've never had anything negative. People have always been really lovely, and I've met some really fantastic people. So yeah, I feel, again, very blessed and privileged to, through my work, meet other people. That's good.
No, awesome. And that for all of everything that we've been discussing. So for people, the audience out there, budding TikTokers, people that are aspiring to do something similar, what would be your top tips?
Top tips are feel the fear and do it anyway. So a lot of people tell me, like I was just speaking to that gentleman then, he's doing some really cool stuff. I think in our own minds, we think because we do stuff every day and stuff is normal to us, that people won't be interested in what we're doing. They're going to be interested. Even if you're just cooking a fry-up for your kids or your partner, people are interested. It's mad. Do you know what I mean? Like we think this is just everyday life for us. Document it, put it out there, because you are you and nobody else is you. So of course it's interesting because it's a unique perspective and different to somebody else's life. So feel the fear and do it anyway. You might not think that people care about what you've got to say, but they do. Honestly, you'll find your people. Just be authentic and do something you're passionate about. Another tip would be to just spend time on the platform and understand how it works, the mechanics of it. TikTok is very different to other social platforms in the respect that it's an interest-based algorithm. It doesn't just show you to people that are following you, it shows you to everybody, which is very unique to TikTok, which is why TikTok is doing very, very well and why people can grow on there, because they won't just push you out to people who follow you, unlike Instagram. So it's very insular, there's quite a limitation to the reach of your content, whereas TikTok has got this unique ability to push you out to people who you're not following. As long as you are doing something that's aligned with their interests, the algorithm will show you to people who are interested in the stuff that you're discussing. So yeah, it's important to absorb what's going on there and use that to create your own content, not to copy people, but just to get some inspiration and understand the mechanics of how it works. And also post as much as you can. So I think if you're going to start a new channel, for example, start posting if you can, once a day, twice a day, 4 times a day for 2 weeks would be wicked. But I understand not everybody's able to do that, but posting consistently, regularly, creating a community. I think it's really important that people aren't obsessed with just getting cool new cars and this is a cool car. Do you know how many people are telling you that this is a cool car? Yeah, they are cool cars and that is part of my content, but it's not the be all and end all. And to be honest, does that help anybody? It's about helping somebody, and we are all here on earth to help others. If you give to people in your community, if you entertain them, make them laugh, or educate them on something, that's what builds community. What are you giving to somebody? Why are they going to watch you? What are you doing? So for me, it was educating people on car purchasing decisions, finance decisions, anything like that to help them. That's my why, along with entertainment and just having a community of people who agree and get on and help each other. Like, how are you going to help others? Who would you rather buy from? A person who you've never met before, whether it's in a dealership, physical or online. Exactly. It's you're building trust without even speaking to somebody. It's social proof. I think what you're doing here is absolutely fantastic. Honestly, I've been really blown away with the setup that you've got here and the mindset and how you think about things differently and you've approached the market differently, and it's clearly paying off. So hats off to you for that. No,
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's really great to have you here and have a look around because get your opinion. It's been really good.
No, it's been great.
But circling back round to, because a lot of people ask about the cars and the market. We have a lot of conversations daily, weekly, all of us are, about the way the market's going. From what you've driven, the petrol cars, diesel cars, traditional, the fast cars, the economical cars, and you mentioned the hydrogen car earlier. I'm personally very interested in a hydrogen car. But what do you think driving the electric? Because I've seen your videos about like where you've been, you got range anxiety. And didn't you once ask someone on TikTok to assist you on your journey? So can you stop at their house for a charging point? So things like that, like what do you think the future is? Do you think electric cars are here to stay? Do you think the infrastructure's there? What's your take on it all?
I think that it's a very interesting conversation and no one knows yet. Anyone who says they know must have a crystal ball. Please lend me it, because nobody knows for sure. Everything's speculative at this stage. We're in a very, very new place. We've never been here before. It's a very exciting time to be alive, really. There's all this new stuff going on. I think that it's naive to negate different fuel sources. obviously battery electric vehicles is what has been chosen as the prominent way that we're going to go. But that's not to say that other fuel sources can't overtake it in time. If you look at hydrogen, all right, we've got less than 20 hydrogen fuel pumps across the UK, which is disastrous, but they are still around the world being invested in, like in the Middle East, hydrogen. Manufacturers are still choosing to manufacture hydrogen cars. Why? BMW are bringing out a hydrogen car.
Yeah.
They have already brought out a hydrogen car in the past. They've learned from those mistakes and brought another one. Same with the Toyota Mirai. They had an old one, they brought out a new one. Don't get me wrong, they're not mass volume vehicles, but there's no smoke without fire. What do they know that we don't? They're still, you know, toying with this. I've spoken to a hydrogen pump manufacturer. They're getting a lot more bookings. They're putting a lot more in. So there's obviously something going on there. There's some concept there. And obviously hydrogen being so abundant, the most abundant fuel source that we have, why wouldn't we do that? And also we've got alternative fuel. So for example, you've got Porsche who are developing an alternative fuel.
Yeah, synthetic
Fuel that can go into a normal combustion engine but produce no emissions. How can we ignore that? I think it's naive. I know that Elon Musk at Tesla said, oh, you know, fuel cells. I don't think so. I think there's a place for everything, and I think there will be different fuel sources. And even if it's EV right now, if it's battery electric right now, which makes obviously the most logical sense from a viability perspective and infrastructure perspective, it doesn't mean to say that in the future, 10 years, 20 years, 100 years down the line, it's going to be the case. That's just where we're going right now. But technology evolves, things evolve. So we'll see.
And with all the information that you've gathered, if you're buying a car next, 'cause the big question I get asked all the time is, would you buy an electric car right now?
Yeah, I would.
Right now?
But it has to make sense for you.
Yeah.
Electric cars are not accessible to everybody. It depends on your earnings, your disposable income. Can you afford an electric car? Because the price parity is not where it needs to be. You're looking at 10 grand plus more for the electric version over the petrol equivalent. Does everybody have that? And how long is it going to take for you to see a return on investment? Are you even going to keep a car that long? So you've got to ask yourself these questions. I think if you're a person who can, claim the tax, etc., write off the tax on an electric car as a business owner makes 100% sense. If you've got off-road parking at home and you can have a wall box installed, 100% sense. If you do the kind of mileage that would suit an electric car, 100% sense. All those things make sense. But for the average person who doesn't have off-road parking, who doesn't have access to, electric supply, they can't charge their car, they're in an apartment, for example, especially if you're in London. If you don't have that extra cash as well, how does it make sense for that person right now? It doesn't. But I would have one because it would suit me. But for a lot of people, they're just not in a position to do it, and I do feel for them, and I understand that part of the la resistance against electric cars is because people can't access them. And they've never test-driven one because they don't feel like they're in a place to buy one, so they don't want to do that.
It's a perceived, they're expensive.
It's like this is our club and you're not coming in. And it's because of that there's been some backlash towards it. It's like you've got to have money to get into that club and we don't have it, so we feel left out, so we're rejecting it. That's what it is. It's a psychological thing for sure. If people had the money, if it was the same price to buy a petrol car as it was to buy an EV, I don't think we'd have this backlash. Of course we wouldn't, because everybody can be a part of the club, but the minute it's if you've got money.
And I think as well, like all of that's like, I completely agree with everything. The other thing which I think is people want to be able to get up in the morning. I want to go here, I want to go to the beach, I want to do this, I want to do that. If the sun's out, I want to take the kids down the beach on a Saturday. I can just go to a pump, 10, 15 minutes, my car's got a 600-mile range, off I go. Whereas the electric, you've got to pre-plan, you've got to think about, like with one of your videos that I saw, you were planning your journey, trying to get home, or you're trying to get to your venue first and then trying to get home. And it's that game you have to play at the moment. And it's, when you stop at the place, is there going to be a charging unit available? So it's just anxiety around it all, isn't it, at the moment?
No, I can understand that. And I don't think it's so much range anxiety. I've said before, I think it's charging anxiety. Is the infrastructure going to be there when I need it?
Yeah.
And it's not there, for sure, it's not. And there is different solutions. For example, I went to Silverstone, I charged at somebody's house that lived in that village, which was a lot of fun. I'm surprised I didn't get killed. But I am still here to tell the tale, and it was quite an enjoyable experience, actually. But there's no choice but to make the infrastructure how it needs to be. If the government have said 2030, you know, we're not going to sell, well, you're not allowed to sell internal combustion engines anymore, you know, things that emit emissions, how are you going to support people in doing that? Because people are ready to do it, but have we got the charging infrastructure to back it up? All right, you've got the Tesla infrastructure, which is great if you travel on the motorway, but not everybody wants a Tesla. And I know that they've opened some up, but not all of them. So the infrastructure has to get better, and charging times have to get better. I mean, you know, 7 kilowatts or less from a lamppost ain't going to cut the mustard, is it really?
No.
And that's if you can get in to park there. That's in London.
Yeah.
Like, they need to really do something. I think the planning thing people will come round to, it's just a mindset change. And I think it could, well, potentially, theoretically speaking, could reduce accidents. A lot of people have accidents because they're tired. If you can stop and rest, which you should have done, but you didn't because you just want to get home and you've got the fuel to do it, it's going to stop that behaviour. So there's both sides of the coin. Like I said, if you can charge at home, you've got the fuel there, you charged at home, you're ready to go. You don't have to go to the fuel station. But if you haven't, you've got to go to a public charger, and it's not a fast charger, it can take time. So it's going to take some time for that to improve and for consumers to get their head around that.
So, after all the electric cars you've driven so far, because obviously we're still very early in this market.
Yeah, for sure.
What's your favourite so far?
Oh, I've got two favourites. I like the Porsche Taycan, obviously, and I love the Polestar 2 with Performance Pack. The Cupra Born e-Boost as well is very good if you want a small EV. So I like all three of them.
All different markets.
Yeah, they are actually. Although, to be fair, the Cupra Born's not cheap. So it's in a similar position, actually, to Polestar.
Yeah. And that's the thing you mentioned earlier, wasn't it? It's the price
is
resistance
high.
through it all. No, fantastic.
But then again, they will argue, well, you'll save more money. Not just on fuel, but also on things like servicing. So it doesn't need every year to be serviced, it's every 2 years.
Yeah.
Little things like that. It doesn't have an engine, it's got motors. So obviously, if you need to repair it, surely it should be less money to repair. There's less things to go wrong. But obviously time will tell, it's still early days.
Yeah. We're owning a service business. That was a bit that was a bit concerning to start with, but I can say the MOT, there's only one element that's changing on the MOT.
Okay.
That's the emission testing machine. Everything else is still there. You know, the headlights, the suspension, the underbody checks, everything's still there. So it's just the emission check that's not going to be there. So the MOTs, the £15 MOT will survive.
Good.
For all the EVs as well.
Good, good.
And then the servicing side, did you know Tesla actually has more filters than a normal car?
No, I didn't.
So
now I do.
We're going to need to replace those.
Okay.
They might be more expensive as well. So
MotorServ.
Yeah.
You know.
Hopefully the block exemption will kick back in and we can continue this march.
Yeah, brilliant.
No, fantastic. So from to wrap it up really, so what's next? What's coming up? Is there anything that you want to share with us or the audience about what you're doing?
I'm doing lots of exciting things, but I just can't really say yet, which is really annoying. But some personal, well, a personal goal that I had to do something is coming up, but you probably won't be able to see it till maybe next year.
Okay.
But I can keep you in the loop. But yeah, I'm doing lots of exciting things. Again, more pinch me moments. I tell you what I can tell you though, I've got a caterer coming at the end of the month.
Have you?
Yeah.
You have to be careful in that.
A 170S. Oh, you sound like my husband. I'm totally fearless. I've driven 2 lorries now. Like, there's just nothing that I feel like I can't drive. So.
Yeah.
Have you seen this one trying to put me off? The catering.
I'm not putting you off.
You sound like my husband. It's got a roof. Have you driven one before?
Only at a test track, only at a track.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not going on the track. I'm going to
far
try
too low to the floor for my liking.
Well, yeah.
I like my big sofas in luxury cars, so.
Big sofas.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely not that. It doesn't have a radio. I'll have to sing to myself.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So we look forward to seeing all the stuff, this
Good.
snowball continuing,
Good.
as you say, even through the summer. So no, it's fantastic. So yeah, thank you very much for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
And yeah, our first of, hopefully many media broadcasts that we're going to be doing. So thank you for gracing us for the first one. So yeah, appreciate all you watching today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope Abigayle's provided a lot of gems of information. I know she's enlightened me from a different perspective. It's been fantastic. So thank you very much for watching. Hi, thanks for watching today. Hope you've enjoyed this interview. We're hoping to bring a lot more content to this channel, so please do like, subscribe and follow, and we'll be bringing a lot more for you.